In a quiet village nestled between ancient mountains, there lived a young archer named Kael. Kael was talented. His arrows flew straight. His aim was true. But there was one thing that held him back: his mind. Whenever pressure mounted, when eyes watched, when stakes were high, when the wind whispered doubt, his hands would tremble. Focus would scatter like leaves in a storm. One evening, the village elder, a wise woman named Mira, called Kael to the hilltop where the old oak stood. "Kael," she said gently, "tomorrow is the festival of clarity, the archery contest, and I believe you are ready, but not your hands. Your heart." Kael frowned. "My heart is strong, elder." Mira smiled. "Is it, or does it race when the world watches? Does it whisper fear when silence falls?" Kael had no answer. Mira handed him a single arrow. "Tomorrow, when you stand on that line, I want you to remember this. Do not shoot at the target. Shoot at the truth inside you." Kael didn't fully understand, but he nodded and walked home beneath a sky heavy with coming rain. The next day arrived. The festival grounds buzzed with energy. Colorful banners danced in the wind. Drums pulsed like heartbeats. Archers from distant villages stood in a line, bows in hand, eyes locked on the distant target, a small golden ring hanging from a branch 100 paces away. Kael stepped forward. His breath caught. The crowd's voices blurred into a roar. His palms grew damp. He saw the target, but it seemed to shimmer, to move. He thought of winning, of failing, of what they would say, of what he would lose. His arrow felt heavy. Just as he drew his bow, the sky cracked open. Rain fell, not a drizzle, but a sudden sweeping storm. Wind howled. People gasped and scrambled for cover. The contest was paused, but Kael didn't move. He stood in the rain, arrow still knocked, bow half raised, and in that moment, something shifted. The noise faded. The crowd disappeared. The target blurred into the background. All that remained was his breath. The weight of the bow, the feel of the string against his fingers. The quiet truth Myra had spoken: shoot at the truth inside you. Not at glory, not at fear, not at the eyes watching. Kael closed his eyes. Within, Kael closed his eyes for one heartbeat. When he opened them, the storm was still raging, but inside him, there was calm. He drew the bow, not with force, with intention. He released. The arrow flew, not fighting the wind, but moving with it. Not chasing the target, but trusting the path. Thwack! A hush fell over the crowd, even over the rain. Had not just hit the golden ring. Hit, split it cleanly in two. After the storm passed, Mira approached Kael. "You see?" She said softly, "The target was never the ring. The target was your focus, your peace, your truth." looked at his hand. Steady now. I didn't fight the storm, he whispered. I let it be. And I stayed with myself. Mira nodded. That is the power so many forget.
Okay.
We think focus means blocking out the world. But true focus means staying connected to what matters while the world does what it will. Friend, life will send its storms. Distractions will rise. Doubts will whisper. Pressure will build. Circumstances will shift. You cannot control the wind. But you can choose where you place your attention. When chaos surrounds you, don't scatter. Don't chase every noise. Don't let fear steer your hands. Pause, breathe, return to your truth. Ask yourself, what is the one thing that matters right now? Not the applause, not the outcome, not the opinion of others. The next true breath. The next act of courage, however small. Stay with that. Like Kael in the storm, you don't need to fight the world to find your way. You only need to stay faithful to your center. 'Cause when you focus not on the noise, but on your purpose, when you aim not at approval, but at integrity, your arrow will fly true, not because the path was easy, but because you were clear. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a moment of calm today. Subscribe to DeepKind Wisdom for more stories that nurture your soul and strengthen your spirit. Remember, the world may storm, but within you, there is always stillness, always truth, always the power to begin again. Until next time, stay kind, stay deep, and keep aiming true.